Rabbi Sai Azoi. The Zohar reports that when Noach came out of the Teva, he saw a world desolate and destroyed, and he began to weep. And he said, Rabbeinu Shel Olam, why did you bring this destruction upon your creation? But Hashem responded to him, now you're crying? Now's too late. Why didn't you cry before the flood started? And the implication is that had Noach done so, the flood would not have happened. Indeed, this week's Haftarah refers to the flood as Mei Noach, implying that in some way he was to blame for the Mabul. But this seems hard to understand. The Medrash, which is brought by Rashi, says that for 120 years before the flood, Noach was building the Teva, and people would come and ask him, what are you doing? And he would warn them that a flood was coming to the world. Maybe this would lead them to do tshuva. So it seems like he did take responsibility for over a century to try to prevent the flood. So why is he being blamed? My hi. This Shabbos marks the 12th Yortzeit of Rav Ovadia Yosef. How can we even try to put his life into words? He was born in 1920 in Baghdad. Aged only 4, he moved with his family to Eretz Yisrael. His father had worked in diamonds in Iraq, but in order to make a parnasa, he had to open a grocery shop, a makolet. As a young teenager, young Rav Ovadia was learning in Yeshivat Porat Yosef. But his father wanted him to take time off to come and help in the grocery store. One day, the Rosh Yeshiva, the esteemed Rav Ezra Atiyah, told young Rav Ovadia, you stay here to learn. And he went and turned up at Rav Ovadia's father's grocery shop to offer assistance. He told Rav Ovadia's father, I've spent plenty of years learning. I've got plenty of learning under my belt. But your young son, he's got so much potential. He really needs all the hours he can get in yeshiva. And how that potential was realized. He received smicha aged only 20. In 1947, he went to serve both as a teacher and as head of the Beis Din in Cairo, Egypt. In 1950, he came back to serve as a dayan on the Beis Din in Petach Tikva before taking on a similar position in Yerushalayim. He then became the Rav of Tel Aviv before in 1972 being appointed the Rishon LeZion, the chief rabbi of Israel. In 1983, he took on the spiritual leadership of the Shas party, and under his guidance, so much was done to restore the crown of Sephardi Jewry to its former glory. His scholarship was also groundbreaking. He wrote over 50 Sfarim, drawing on a phenomenal photographic memory. He issued many brave psakim, often controversial. He in fact carved out a new mahalach in Sephardi psak, relying exclusively on the conclusions of the Beis Yosef, without including any Kabbalistic sources. There's another element to Rav Ovadia's Gadlus, which we'll come back to soon. But in the meantime, back to our original question. Why was Noach criticized? Didn't he try his best for 120 years? Rav Ovadia himself addressed this. It's true that Noach told the people what was happening, but that's all he did. He simply conveyed the facts. He didn't leave his Daled Amos. He didn't go out, sit with the people, explain things to them, make them understand, connect with them. Had he done so, according to the Zohar, the world would have been saved. Here's how Rav Ovadia himself put it.
תדבר עם בני אדם, תסביר להם את הדברים, כמה שהדברים חמורים, תביא להם ראיות, תביא להם מעשיות. לא, צדיק בפרעה, צדיק. הקדוש ברוך הוא אוהב צדיק כשהוא יורד אל העם, יושב, מדבר איתם, משפיע, פעיל, לא יושב ככה ב-400 בבית שלו. הוא הולך, הוא מדבר עם אחרים.
He then notes in Parshas Vayera, Avram inquired whether there were 50 tzaddikim in Stoim, b'toch ha'ir. What do those actual words mean, b'toch ha'ir? Says Rav Ovadia, it means that a tzaddik, in order to effectively be machzir people b'tshuva, needs to be in the city, with the people, explaining, talking, and helping to lift them from there. This was the other dimension of Rav Ovadia's Gadlus. So brilliant in Torah, and yet so able to relate to the common man on his terms. This combination helped to inspire tens, hundreds of thousands of people to be chayzer b'tshuva. Let's let the current chief rabbi, Rav Ovadia's son, Rabbi David, put this in his own words.
He used to go from place to place to talk to people about the education of the children, about fulfilling Torah and mitzvot, to every place in Eretz Israel to talk to people about Torah, to wake them up. And then when he became old, he used to talk to thousands of people. used to talk to them so sweet, so nice. And then with his nice voice, he used to say, Shema Israel, Hashem hu Elokim. People had tears in their eyes and they made teshuvah. Because of that, almost 1 million people came to Jerusalem to his funeral. Why? Because they loved him. I saw the faces of people in the funeral. They were crying. Why? Because he loved them and they loved him.
Stories abound. I'll quote just one. Rabbi Ovadia was well known for his extensive work at being matir agunos, particularly after the Yom Kippur War. In 1999, he had pain in his chest and he was rushed to hospital. The doctors told him that actually he had had a heart attack and he needed to have an emergency stent procedure to free up his arteries. But he told the medical team, I'm not having a procedure now. I first need to go home for 3 hours. Puzzled, they asked him, why? Why do you need to go home? So he explained, I'm in the middle of writing a tshuva for a particular aguna. I don't know if I'm going to make it through this procedure alive. Who else will take responsibility to release this lonely woman from her painful struggles? V'kach hava. He went home, finished the tshuva, and came back to the hospital to have the procedure. Incredible care and concern. Incredible sensitivity. What a man. A good Shabbos.